Okay, so I'll create a new workflow. Today, the trigger will not be a chat message. It will be a form input, right? Because if you want to automate this, we need to create a form where it has to take a couple of details and then it has to act upon it, right? So what I'll do, I'll add a first step and say on form. Sorry, there is a trigger here which says on form submission, right? So we have a URL here. We have a form title. We have form description. I would say form title as fix Genie and form description as uh, whatever it is, right? So maybe I can take from PPT and paste it there. Yes, I put the form description and what information should we receive from the user, right? See, assume that this information will be sent to the actual engineer, right? So we need the name of the resident who is facing the issue. Name. What else do we need? We need to have the door number. Assume that this is for a specific apartment, so we may not need the address basically, right? If it is for only one apartment, we don't need the address basically. We just need the door number, and which is also in text. We can turn on this required field, right? And we also need one more thing, which is the problem. So problem can be text or can be a multi-line text also, text area. So whatever it is, and it is also required. So just three fields: who is facing the problem, which door number is he residing at, and what is the problem. That's all. I click on execute step here at the top. So what we can do individually, module by module, we can execute and see the output. Okay. So here there are three inputs asking. So I would say Prakash, door number 45, and I would say tap leaking, right? And I say submit. So you see that upon submission, I can close this form. So it says that your response has been recorded. I can close this form and see in the right side, we have three things: schema, table, and JSON, which are three different views of the same data. Okay. So here we have the input. Here's the area where we can build the workflow or configure the input, and here is the output. Okay. So we see here whatever I have sent, Prakash, that is stored in a variable called name, 45, that is stored in a variable called door number, tap leaking is stored in a variable called problem, and it has also added two more variables called submitted at form mode, which we can ignore for now. Okay. Now we have name, door number, problem, and submitted. So we can also see the same data in form of table, in form of JSON, right? That's totally fine for us. Now, this is the input, this is the trigger node. When I say trigger, which is the starting point for the workflow execution, right? Whenever this form is submitted, then the workflow starts. So that is the trigger here, okay? And now I'm going to connect to the same AA agent, right? I will connect it to AA agent, right? So just click back, okay? Just if you want, once you open, it will have like this. Just click back. So I'll explain you in detail what are these three things. So AI agent is basically an innovative tool which uh, automatically decides what to do based on the prompt that we give. We don't need to explicitly connect if node, while node, whatever things. We don't need to connect in this way. Instead, we just say the prompt and it will automatically do the things for us. Okay. I'll click on chat model and choose OpenAI chat model. Okay. And once you connect the token, so you don't need to connect it again. So it will automatically take the token from there. Unless you want to specify a new token, you click on edit and then you can change the API token, or you can click new credential and add new credential. But usually that's not required once you connect a token. So that will be available for all the workflows, right? So here we have the token, right? And I go back. So you have connected OpenAI chat model, which means that the engine for ChatGPT is already connected. And why is this node required? It has to understand the problem. It has to classify the problem to the correct category. It has to take action autonomously. It has to find which email ID the problem should be sent as. what should be the content of email, what should be the priority, and of course, so all those things, right? It has to send an email autonomously, so everything should be seen here. Okay, so that's the thing. So that's the reason we connected OpenAI chat model, and of course, a memory is required because in the whole execution, so it needs to have a simple memory attached to it, which can remember up to 5 interactions. So this is necessary, right? Up to this, are we clear, guys? We connect a chat model, we connect a simple memory, and then we'll connect a couple of tools now. Okay. First, where is the data residing? For example, for which problem, who is the correct contact person? So where is the data residing? Okay. So for this, you may connect to a database if you have anything. But for now, what we can do, we can just connect it to a simple Google Sheet. I hope, guys, you are aware of something called Google Sheets. The Excel, which is an online version by Google. Okay, so Excel is from Microsoft product, but Google has its own Excel version, which is called Google Sheet. Okay, so here what I'll do, I'll create a blank spreadsheet and say here. Okay, so what does this sheet has? Okay, I would say problem and recipient, right? For which problem, which recipient I have to send the email to? I would say electrical. I would say electrician at something example.com. Okay, so there is no real electricians now, so I would say just example.com. Okay, now plumbing, I would say plumber at example.com. So I'd also add other problems. So I would say safety. Okay, I'll say safety engineer at example.com. I would say payment. I would say um, whoever is the I don't know who is the coordinator, something. Okay, coordinator at example.com, right? Whatever it is. So these are the recipients for the specific problems. I think we're clear here, right? Could save this Excel as problem uh, recipient, whatever it is, right? I would say problem recipient, whatever it is. So now this is saved in my Google Sheets. Okay. Now I will close this. I am here and I have to connect to the corresponding tools, right? It to the tools to say what tools it has access to. I will not explicitly say this is the tool for sending email, this is the tool for getting data, nothing. I will just simply connect the tools. So this AI agent can autonomously work on its own, right? So what I will do, I will connect to a tool, I will say Google Sheets tool, right? So I already connected to it to my Google account. Okay. So for you guys, so you can click on this create new credential and then click on this sign in with Google. We are here where you have to choose the account, whichever you want to connect to. And if it asks this pop up, right, just click on continue so it can access all the sheets in your account. And then just close this once it is connection successful. Close this and come back. So already I have connected 3 accounts. Now it is the 4th account. So now, so here, what it has to do. So all these things, leave it as it is. So document, click on this drop down and you will find the document problems recipient, right? That's the document we created recently. So that's the document. And from which sheet I have to choose sheet one. And if you want to filter something, do that. But of course, it's not required for now. This will basically get all the data from the sheet. Now we can add a Google Sheet where it can read the data, right? Now I also connect one more tool because after it reads the data, after it classifies the content, it has to send an email, right? So I would use Gmail tool to send an email. Okay. So where there is a Gmail tool, you click this, create new credential, sign in with Google, and you connect this Google account, right? So whatever it's asking, click on the check mark and click on continue. So your Gmail will be connected successfully, right? Close this. You see the second account is added now, right? And then leave everything as it is, right? This to subject message, right? So do we know this to message, whom to reach to? Do we know this as of now? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's from the Google Sheets, but we don't know exactly whom to send, right? I will do, I will not explicitly set rules if it is this problem, do this and all. Instead, I would just click this magic button, which is let the model define this parameter. Okay. So let AI itself decide whom to send. Okay. Subject, I would say let AI decide what subject it should be, and let AI decide what message it has to send. Everything. That's
Mhm.
like a magic. Okay. I just allowed AI to automatically take inputs for two subject and message. I don't want to tell anything. You decide, you said. I give the authority to the AI. Right? Now we go back. Right? Is it interesting, guys, so far? So I click on this AI agent, and now what I have to say. So this is the area where I have to tell the exact prompt. But now I want to tell the prompt like what this AI agent should do, not technically, not in terms of workflows, but just in simple English, right? So I think I have already captured the prompt. Okay. Um, so this you will not be able to do it in first shot, right? If you understand prompt engineering, or if you are developing multiple workflows, you will know how to create clear prompts. But this is very simple to understand. Okay, I'll walk you through the prompt. Here, what I say: classify the problem. Okay, I'll say from where the problem comes. Okay, into one of the categories mentioned in the attached Google Sheet. Is it simple to write, guys? It is not rocket science. It is not complex English. It is not a complex logic, right? Just plain English. I said classify. This problem is actually coming from the form. I would say that problem into one of the categories mentioned in the attached Google Sheet. Fetch the recipient email strictly from the attached Google Sheet. So don't hallucinate. Don't think anything out of you. You fetch the recipient from the Google Sheet. Then I would say send an email using the send email tool. Even I did not say I did not say send Gmail tool, right? That's basically send a message in Gmail, but I did not mention that clearly also. So let a understand automatically. So I said using the send email tool, mentioning the name of the person facing the problem. That name is obtained from the form in form of name variable and house number, which is available in the house number variable. Are we clear, guys? So I just written a simple prompt and let AI do things on its own, right? I would simply copy this prompt to agent, and instead of this chat input, right? So I would say define below. I don't want the chat input. I want to define below and put the prompt, right? There is some red mark, there is some green mark. So let us understand. So whichever you put inside double curly braces, those are actually variables. Okay. So where are the problem, right? You see here, this is the last time when we created the form, we executed that specific workflow, right? We got these variables. So this problem is the actual problem, right? So what I will do, I would remove this, okay, and drag this and drop it here. So on the form submission, whatever problem uh, the recipient is typing, that I am adding here. Clear, guys? And now scroll down. Where is the name of the person who is facing the problem? So I would drag and drop this name and drop here, right? So this is the person who is facing the problem. And house number, it is in red or in gray because now we change the variable to door number. Previously it was house number. So I remove it and say door number. Guys, are we clear, guys? Very simple. What we did, we just created a prompt, and within the prompt, whichever data is changing dynamically, I have drag dropped variables from the input panel to the prompt area. So now AI should work according to this prompt. Now see what we have done. We built a very simple workflow, right? We created a form. We said AI agent what it has to do. We defined a chat model because this AI feature only will be able to do everything, right? So it will be able to understand the prompt, do the actions according to the prompt, remember things. So so all these AI things should be done with the help of this chat model. And then this AI agent is capable of understanding what tools it has connected to and what action it has to take based on that simple prompt. So I will run the workflow now. Okay. So I would say execute the workflow. So it is asking name, door number, problem. I would say um, Praveen instead. Door number I would say 77, and I would say air conditioner not working. Okay. So the AC is not working. I would say air conditioner not working. Right. Exactly. Okay. Right. Now I will also open the sheets. Okay. For us to review it once again. Okay. So so for electrical problem, it has to send the email to electrician@example.com. Right. That's it. So I would run the workflow. So it is here, right? I fill the information, I click on submit, see what happens, right? I can close the form. Okay. It says memory, there is an issue. Okay. I click on the simple memory. Basically, if that's from a chat session, it will automatically take the variable from there. But if it is the input from some other information, right, we cannot have a session created here. So I would say define below and say any variable. So that should hold the recent items. Okay. I would say memory, whatever it is, right? So that's a simple variable, okay, which will store all the conversations happening now. Okay. So clear, guys, right? If we connect to a chat session, right? You can use this connected chat trigger node, but we did not connect a chat trigger node, right? We connected a trigger node which is called form. In this case, we have to use define below and we have to put any variable so it holds the memory in this variable, right? Guys, are we clear? I'll execute it again. So name, Praveen, door number 77, and I would say air conditioner not working, right? And I would say submit. Now you see what's happening. See, it automatically takes a memory, it takes a chat model, it reads the data from Google Sheet, it sends an email. You saw this, guys. It all worked like a magic, right? I did not say where to do. I mean, I did not connect the workflow. I did not build a complex workflow, right? I just uh, said what the AI agent should do in a simple prompt, and everything is done automatically. Now I would open my Gmail to see what's happened. See, I open the sent item, open the email. So see this is the email sent by the AI agent. So it is not we who define what subject it is, what data it is, whom it has to reach, nothing, right? So here it says in subject, air conditioner not working issue. And then it said the email has been sent to electrician@example.com, right? Even though we have plumber, safety engineer, coordinator, it automatically classifies that as an electrical issue. So it says the email to electrician@example.com, and then it said, dear electrician, this is to inform you that Praveen from house number 77 is facing an issue with the air conditioner, which is not working. Kindly look into the matter at the earliest. Thank you. How was this, guys? So
Yeah.
that's a pretty simple use case, right? So, and how long do you think it would take for you to build such a workflow, right? Just a couple of minutes. So since I'm explaining things for the first time, right, it took maybe some 25 to 30 minutes. But if you are well versed, right, so you'll be able to build this workflow in a matter of 5 minutes. That's more than enough, right? This is just a very simple example to understand the power of N8N, to understand power of AI agent, right? When you say AI agent, the rule is that it can autonomously decide what to do. So that's the AI agent definition. Okay, we don't need to mention anything specifically. Okay, it can automatically do everything. For example, here I would also open AI agent, and there is options. I'd also add some options to say system message, and here I can even define how the mail should be. Okay, I would say send the email in a polite tone and add as much information as possible, right? Now I add a system message which should be understood by this AI agent, right? Now it again execute the step. So when I execute a step, then it will not take the form input. Okay, so whatever input that is obtained already, it will take that. Okay, so when I execute the whole workflow, it will start from the beginning. But when I execute the step, previous input whatever we submitted so far, it will take the input from there and execute. Right now, I would check the email which is sent. See, right now you see I have asked it to do politely and explain as possible. Now it says, I hope this email finds you well. We have received the problem report from the from Praveen, residing at 77, right? Regarding an issue with the air conditioner which is not working. Could you please look into this matter at the earliest? Convince and provide necessary assistance. Thank you for everything. So blah blah blah, right? So if we are sending an email to the client, right, we'll also add these things, right? So hope this is hope you're good, hope you're well, right? All those things like in a polite tone, right? I did not say anything, so it also added that best regards, property management team, right? I did not say anything. It did everything on its own, and the email has been sent to electrician. Maybe I'll give another example. So I would run the workflow once again. So for us to understand how this works, I would say Manoj, door number 4, and I would say tap leaking, right? So I did not say there's a plumbing issue, but I expect AI to automatically recognize this issue, classify the issue, and send accordingly. I click on submit. You see here, everything is done. Email should be sent, and you check the sent email. See, it classified as a plumbing issue, and the email has been sent to the plumber.